right, race fans, we're here with Steve Beitler, owner of Skagit Speedway and the promoter of Elma down in Grays Harbor. Steve, my first question to you is that I drove it in the parking lot, a two-day Outlaw show, and the parking lot is absolutely crammed full of travel trailers and campers. You got to be feeling good about that.
Yeah, I am. You know, this weather's really helping us a lot, and it's the World Outlaws. You know, it's going to be the greatest show on dirt. It's great weather. They've had a good following this year. They put on a fantastic show, so we're expecting a really good weekend up here at Skagit, and then we'll take them right down to Grays Harbor. We'll have another great weekend down there.
So do you get a lot of satisfaction out of the fact that you're able to bring the World of Outlaws here, not for one, but for 3 separate shows?
You know, that's pretty gratifying. Since I got to race with them a lot of years, it's kind of fun to be able to bring them up here and host them. But, you know, I really get the most satisfaction out of watching the fans in the stands, the enjoyment they get watching the quality of racing that the World of Outlaws bring. To me, that's what it's really all about.
Yeah, and what a perfect segue for my final question for you, Steve. Over the years, I've asked you a whole bunch of questions, but the one thing I have always failed to ask you, and I'm going to ask you now, you've got a responsibility for 5,000 plus fans who show up for these shows. How do you do it?
Organized. I've got a great staff here. You know, I'm the captain of the ship, I'm the quarterback of the team, but I've got a great support staff, and everybody has a job, everybody has a department, and it's a very, very regimented team we have here. And I'm blessed to have the people that believe in me and believe in what we're doing here to help organize this whole thing and put it together. One person could never do this, you know that. I've got several dozen people that work behind the scenes that really, they're the ones that make all this happen. All I do is stand on the stage and orchestrate it.
All right, Steve. Well, I'm sure that you know, that's wonderful, giving the kudos to your staff, and rightly deserved. On the other hand, it's a phenomenal thing that you yourself bring this kind of racing to the Northwest.
Well, it's my pleasure. I really enjoy it. You know, growing up as a kid, I really enjoyed going to see big-time racing, and it's an honor to be able to bring them here and have this type of a race at Skagit Speedway and down at Grays Harbor Raceway. And again, just to look out and see all the families out there having fun together, enjoying a big-time race like I did when I was younger. You know, so that's what I do. That's what it's all about.
All right, Steve. Well, thank you, and here we go for 2 nights of great racing.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, race fans, we're here with, I've got several favorite drivers, but this one ranks right in the top 3, maybe the top 2, and of course it's Shane Stewart. Shane, I just asked you off camera how long you've been with the team, and it's been what?
4 years.
4 years.
I've been with Elmar.
Time does fly. So this season, from watching the results and various things, quite frankly, I don't think it's been quite the season you'd hope for.
Oh, it hasn't been terrible. Yeah, I mean, we've had some bad nights, but we've also had a lot of good ones. You know, we've gone through a couple different crew chiefs this year, and we've settled in with Lee Stoffer now, and he's been doing a good job. Yeah, I mean, we could always be better, right? I mean, that's why we're out here. We always achieve, or want to keep achieving more and more and more, but it's not lack of effort. You know, my guys continue to work hard for me, and it's just a tough deal, man. Like, some nights you're just off a little bit. Some nights I think you can kind of pinpoint what it is, and then there's some nights you're just terrible and you can't really say, you know, what the problem is or what the issue is. So it's just something that you got to continue to grow and do that as a team, and try to learn from your bad nights and try to minimize them as much as you can. So that's what we continue to do.
So, but before you became the permanent driver with this team, with the Larson Marks team, and prior to that, you were hooked up with Paul Silva, and you dominated ASCS in the 360 division. You won the championship. This year, Kyle Larson comes out, gets in the Paul Silva car, and kind of beats up on everybody. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just Paul Silva's car that Kyle gets in and beats us up in it. You know, he jumped into one of the 17 cars and beat us at Eagle with a totally different, like a car that he's never even sat in before. So yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that the 57 car's always been fast. It'll continue to be fast, but you know, Kyle can jump into something that he's never even sat in before and beat us. So, you know, that's a tough package to beat. You know, with Paul's knowledge and with Kyle's talent. But we've proven that we can beat him. We've done it a couple times this year. We've had some really great races this summer with Kyle, and a lot of close races that have come down to the very last lap. And those are races that I'll never forget. They're definitely races that I cherished this season. But yeah, I mean, 57's always been fast. It'll continue to be fast.
Well,
so
it's a testament that his NASCAR team allows him to come out whenever he can and to get into a sprint car and run with you guys. Because it's always a treat for the fans.
Absolutely.
And you always put on a heck of a show for us. Shane, have a great run. Race fans, we're here with Donnie Schatz. Donnie, I gotta ask you, what makes you so incredibly good at Knoxville Nationals?
It's 3 guys that work on the car, and the loyalty of the manufacturers we've used for years. They've worked awful hard on being able to keep something consistent at Knoxville, and they try to do the same thing every race we go to. So just so happens Knoxville's our best place.
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but Knoxville is a half-mile track?
Yes.
Okay, do you, for some reason, have a preference to that size track?
We go to all different tracks. We don't get to pick when we go to. When they schedule a race, we go there. So some are just better than others. Some places you get to carry wing speed. Some places are a little bit tighter turns. It's just you got to adapt to the conditions at each racetrack.
All right, well, if ever there was a master for doing that, that's yourself. Thank you for being here at Skagit, and have a great run.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, race fans, we're here with Jack Hodenshield. Jack, right next to you is your son. How does that make you feel?
Good. He's been running out here on the road this year, so it's been fun.
So, do you feel that he has to live up to you?
Oh, I don't know. He just kind of been doing his own thing and just running his own races. So, you know, I don't really know how he feels.
Well, everything I've been reading about Sheldon is that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. He races as hard as you do.
Yeah, he's been running pretty good this year. He's been having a few top 5s, so he's running good.
All right. Well, we look forward to watching the two of you run tonight, and thanks for being here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And here we go with Heat 1 racing action, your World of Outlaws at Skagit Speedway, Algiers, Washington, 2017. On the pole in the 2-car, it is Shane Stewart. Outside of him is Jock Hodenshield. They hit the chalk. We're racing into turn 1 and out of turn 2 on the high side. It's Jack Hodenshield wasting no time to take the point, followed by Shane Stewart, being chased by Donnie Schatz in that bright green number 15. 8 quick laps in Heat 1 racing action for your World of Outlaws. Cars are pretty much settled in now to single file. Your leader continues to be Jack Hodenshield. In the 2nd spot, Shane Stewart. In the 3rd spot, the 15 of Danny Schatz. In the 4th spot, the 93 and son of Jack Sheldon Hodenshield. In the 26th, local favorite Tyler Malsom. And in the 6th spot, 18, Jason Sowell. The top 6 will transfer to the A feature. The other 2 remaining cars will go to the last chance. Jack continues to show the way. No real movement in this race after following the first turn 1 and 2. Jack Hodenshield now beginning to creep up onto the last of the trailers. As Jack goes high, looking to get around the first of the trailers. Momentarily, Shane Stewart had gained some ground on Jack, but not enough. Shane Stewart looks for the inside, coming out of 4. Jack holds him off. Stewart's closed the gap between himself and Hodenshield, but Hodenshield maintains enough. Your winner in this one is going to be the 17 to Jack Hodenshield, followed by the second place, the number 2 is Shane Stewart. In the third spot, 15, Danny Schatz. In the fourth spot, the 93 is Sheldon Hodenshield. In the fifth spot, the 26 is Tyler Malsom. And in the sixth spot, the 18 is Jason Solwall. Eric Fisher, Brian Boswell to the last chance. And here we go with Heat 2 racing action. Come to the shot, the green flag flies, and we are underway. Darren Pittman wastes no time, he gets to the point. Being chased by Craig Kinzer and David Gravel. Logan Schuhart in chase. David Gravel in number 5, that black orange looking car. Up front is the 9 car with Darren Pittman showing the way. Shot at 11 car, Mark Duperon. He's out of Edmonton, Canada. Cars, much like the first heat, settled down into a follow the leader. Kind of a parade at the moment with Darren Pittman in that all black and white car showing the way. You watch the cars coming off of turn 4. There's your leader. Going down the backstretch. David Gravel trying to cut the gap a little bit to the second place car, the 11K of Craig Kinzer. And there'd be no additional movement as far as standings are concerned in Heat 2. Your winner in the number 9 car is going to be Darren Pittman. In the second spot, the 11K of Craig Kinzer. In the third spot, the 5 car of David Gravel. In the fourth spot, the 1S of Logan Schuhart. In the fifth spot, the W20 of Greg Wilson. In the sixth spot, your final transfer spot, 4 car of Paul McMahon, Brent Max, and Martin Duperon to the last chance. And here we go with Heat 3 racing action, your final heat of the evening. World of Outlaws Skagit Speedway, Algiers, Washington. And slow pace of the chalk. We're racing. The green flag flies, and Robbie Price smacks the wall. He keeps going, but we got a car that has also spun, and that's the 41 of Dominic Selsey. So Dominic Selsey gets the car up onto the berm. Cut right back to our restart. Jason Johnson in the 41 on the pole. Once again, a slow pace coming up to the chalk. Flag flies, hammer down. We're racing Heat 3 action. This time it appears that everybody gets through turns 1 and 2 clean. Coming off of 4, it is Jason Johnson showing the way. Johnson continues to show the way while 49 of Brad Sweet, he's in the second spot with Jason Sides in the 7S. He's holding down that third spot. Cars are spread out into single file. No one really making any grounds on the other driver in front of him. Jason Johnson continues to show the way. And we do have a yellow as the 13 of Clyde Nip. He gets it turned around coming out of turn 2. Hammer goes down on the restart. And nothing changes up front as Jason Johnson off the pole takes the lead. Brad Sweet in the 2nd spot. Jason Sides continues on that 3rd spot. Jamie Veal in the 4th spot. Dominic Selsey after the spin and starting in the last spot on the first restart in the 41 car. He's moved into the 5th spot. Robbie Price gets around a 44W of Austin Wheatley, moves himself into the 6th spot. Meanwhile, it's all Jason Johnson up front. And Heat 3 action is going to conclude with your winner, the 41 of Jason Johnson. In the 2nd spot is the 49 of Brad Sweet. In the 3rd spot is the 7S of Jason Sides. The 4th spot, the 35 of Jamie Veal. The 5th spot, the 41 of Dominic Selsey. And next up is the Club Dash. The Club Dash will determine the starting spots for the top 6 cars in the A feature race. Sit back, watch, and enjoy as Brad Sweet takes the win, followed by the 11K of Craig Kinzer. Darren Pittman, he is in the 3rd spot. Shane Stewart will be in the 4th spot. Jason Johnson takes down the 5th spot, and Jack Hodenshield finishes in the 6th spot. In the last chance showdown, the top 6 will transfer to the A feature. Winning the race was the 1A of Jacob Allen, and the 2nd spot was the 59 of Eric Fisher. 3rd spot went to the 19 of Brent Marks. The 4th spot went to the 44W of Austin Wheatley. In the 5th spot, it was the 11EH of Mark Duperon. And in the 6th and final transfer spot, the number 13 of Clyde Knipp. And race fans, here we go with your A feature event, World of Outlaws, Skagit Speedway, Algiers, Washington. Always a fan favorite, the 4 wide salute. Sit back and enjoy as the World of Outlaws, the best on dirt, salute you, the fan. And the field will now form up 2 wide. Slow pace in turn 3. They hit the chalk. Brad Sweet brings them to the line, and we're racing in your A feature event, World of Outlaws. Everyone makes it clean through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go. Brad Sweet shows the way on the first circuit, followed by Darren Pittman and Craig Kinzer in the third spot. Shane Stewart in the fourth spot. Several different lines going into 1 and 2. We see a lot of cars on the low side and a lot of cars on the high side. Shane Stewart now looks to the high side, cuts it down. No, he does cut it down into turn 3, gets underneath Craig Kinzer for the slide job, holds Kinzer off. Shane Stewart moves into the third spot, Craig Kinzer back to the fourth spot. Up front, it continues to be Brad Sweet being chased by Darren Pittman. Both Sweet and Pittman on the high side. As now we see our leaders beginning to approach traffic. Our leaders now into traffic. Sweet goes down low, Pittman up on the high side. Sweet continues that low line. Pittman now draws right up onto Sweet. Pittman looks for the outside. Sweet goes down low. Out of turn 4, and Pittman clips Brad Sweet, and both cars go around, bringing out the yellow. Your first and second place cars have spun out. This moves Shane Stewart up onto the pole. Craig Kinzer alongside. Jason Johnson in the third spot. Everybody hits turn 1 and 2 on the restart. They clear it clean. And Shane Stewart makes good his pole. He is your new leader. Shot of the number 2, Shane Stewart in the first spot. Being chased by Jason Johnson in the number 41. And we've got 2 cars that have come together. That's the 18 of Jason Sowell and the number 26. That's the Redeem Racing Machine. Back to the restart, double wide file, excuse me. Once again, everybody clears turn 1 and 2 cleanly. Stewart continuing to advantage that open air. Jason Johnson continues to hold that second spot. Donnie Schatz now moves into the fourth spot. Jack Hodenshield holds on to the third spot. As the rest of the field coming out for it gives chase. Shane Stewart now with about a 6 to 8 car length advantage over the second place car, Jason Johnson. Stewart now beginning to look at traffic up ahead. Johnson and Hodenshield not able to make up ground yet on Shane. Shane now approaches traffic. Shane up on the high side. continues to run the high side as he gets into traffic. Now he takes it down low into turn 1, makes it stick. And we've got a car that spins right in front of him. That's the 21 of Robbie Price. Brings out the caution. Once again, double wide restart. Shane again wastes no time regaining his elite. Hodenshield now moves into the second spot as he gets underneath Jason Johnson. But he doesn't hold it long as Jason Johnson goes up high out of turn 1 and 2, regains the second spot. Shane Stewart continues to be your leader, followed by Jason Johnson in the 41. Jack Hodenshield in the 17. In the third spot, Donnie Schatz in the fourth spot, and then number 15. Moving up into the fifth spot, 93 of Sheldon Hodenshield. Johnson running the high side, trying to gain some distance onto Shane, beginning to close the gap a bit. The low groove and the high groove in turns 1 and 2 seem to work for everyone. Most drivers taking the high groove around turns 3 and 4. Jason Johnson now beginning to show signs of closing in on to Shane Stewart, but a lap car gets between him and he has to back off a bit, loses a little bit of ground. Folks, this one is over as Shane Stewart brings it home for the win. In the second spot was Jason Johnson in the 41. In the third spot is the 17 of Jack Hodenshield. In the fourth spot is the 15 of Donnie Schatz. And in the fifth spot is the 93 of Sheldon Hodenshield.
Shane Stewart, the leader for the train yards, and tonight, he combined both of those, got a great to take the lead, and now Shane does talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know how the heck I made it before. That was really, really close. Man, seriously, I was coming with that for sure. My car was pretty good. I mean, it was just, once we got in that traffic, you just never know things are going to play out here. I felt like I was as good as Brad and Darren, and I knew that typically a race here comes down to get through that traffic. So, probably one of the better trips that we have after Knoxville and across Montana and through Idaho. It's definitely one of the prettier parts of our country. And, just got to thank all the guys. They continue to work very hard for me, and my car's been really good lately. I'm just glad to get around.
You mentioned how good your race car was. Now, for the most part, in your area, you're up around the high side. When you guys were trying to get it out, it was not really enough to work over.
I think it was going to be. I mean, obviously, I didn't need to be down here until I was first down here. And the one time I got around the 18 there, I felt like my car stuck pretty good on between 3 and 4. And I told Lee and my guys, I knew the bottom was going to come into play at some point during the race. And just, like I said, the caution really fell on the lap. And air is just so important these days. The way our cars work and the way our tires and wings are. I feel like I'm already training when you're out there stuff.
You alluded to a couple of times, those cautions come out to lap traffic. So you get a chance to kind of take a breath, reset, and be okay. I got another 12 laps to make here to do this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, especially here. I mean, I knew if I could get a decent restart, then it was going to be pretty hard to pass.
Great night tonight. Congratulations, Shane. We'll see you for another A-Main victory.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Driver, I want to say congratulations to Shane Stewart tonight here at Skagit. Be quiet.
Go ahead. Do you have a board, Shane? You guys need the board up here? Your Craft World of Outlaws board? Tomorrow night. There it is.
Right here.
Just didn't nail it. That's all it was too. We came up the road there a couple of time. So, hats off to Priority Aviation.
Oh, here comes